Hello and welcome. This video is a supplement for my students at Portland Community College, as well as for anyone who feels the level of pain they're experiencing is getting in the way of the rest of their life. I hope that you'll read the blog post that accompanies this video, as well as the post on the breath and hip pain. So we're working with a second principle of movement, which is moving from the spine and from the largest joints first. So when you think of the spine, think of it as the hub of the wheel that all movement begins from and then radiates outward. So if we have tightness or imbalance in the spine, then we can have limited ranges of motion through the shoulder joints and the hip joints. So if you think of also if we have like tightness in the front of our body, more superficial muscles, and if we could dive deeper and those muscles around the spine are weak, then those imbalances can create a mishmash of symptoms, pain, clicking, clunking, tension. And another part of the body might feel like it needs to kind of come on and compensate for that weakness or tightness and produce even more symptoms. So if we think about moving from the spine and mind, then today, for our purposes, we want to give a little mobilization to the spine so it's not quite so tight. In additional videos, we'll work with strengthening all the muscles around the spine. So for today, let's stand, and we will be using wall space, a mat against the wall, as well as a strap. So if you want to pause the video and gather those things. If we're moving on, standing with the feet just a comfortable distance apart, and we'll start just some free-flowing twists. So notice how as I go one direction, the opposite heel lifts. This is just giving some room and some play for the pelvis and hips, and the spine and the shoulder blades to glide. Nice. Breathing into low back, bottom ribs, side ribs, front ribs. And then remembering what we worked with last video, so ease and awareness. Making those choices that are good for you today, right? So if I'm coming around and I'm feeling any tweaking around my pelvis or low back, maybe I'll slow down the movement and not make the range quite so large to begin with. Great. So the awareness piece is recognizing what is in the moment instead of what we think should be happening. Great. And then being kind to ourselves in the choice that we make. Nice. We'll do a little side bending and mobilization through our thoracic spine. So reaching skyward, letting the opposite hand dangle, a nice soft bend to the knees, reaching up and taking a shallow bend sideways. And then bending the hand that's reaching overhead, bending that elbow and keeping the heart forward, just rounding that elbow in front. So we'll do that a few more times. Reaching up and letting the elbow come around. Nice. So if there's tightness between the shoulder blades, the elbow might not come across so far. Just respect that. Just maybe this elbow is pointing more forward. If you're finding clicking and clunking in the shoulder, maybe a hand to the shoulder lifting an elbow and then crossing it in front. Nice. How can I do this while breathing easy, keeping a soft bend to the knees? Great. And then moving to your other side if you haven't. So watch the wall if you're right in front of it. Nice. And bending the elbow. Notice how when I side bend, I'm not kind of making hips wobble. This is nice and gentle mid-line. Great, and maybe one more time. Lifting arm overhead, side bend, And elbow circling in front. Nice, just getting a little play there between the shoulder blades. So I'm going to make my way down to the earth and then bring my legs up the wall. Nice. And usually this takes a lot of scooting around. And then as I come down, I'm not going to put my backside against the wall. Even if you've practiced it that way before, go ahead and just have the legs at an angle. So we want to find that the pelvis can drop its weight into the earth and that my low back isn't pressing into the floor. You might be able to see that. And I'm up here and I'm not having to overarch my spine. So we want to find a neutral spine from which to work from. And then I'm going to take up my strap and just have the strap folded so as you hang on to the strap, just like the nice loose grip, that the hands are a little bit wider than the shoulders. Great. And then I'm going to move super slow, maybe back a foot, 6 inches to a foot, and then pause here and check in. Have my ribs come up towards the sky. Am I gripping through my feet? So has my spine moved? Do I feel tension in another part of my body? And then bring the hands back upward. See if you can relax the pelvis, neither tilting or tucking. Right? And then with your inhale, moving back. Great. So not needing to go all the way back. This is just kind of inching back each time. What's my range of motion without changing the shape of my spine? If you notice wobbling on the way back, let that be your end range. And then come back up. Nice. Inhale between the shoulder blades. And exhale, come back up. So a few more times. Where can I go that keeps the spine in neutral, shoulder blades relaxed, jaw soft? If I'm finding wobbling or clicking or pain in my shoulders or back, I'm not going to go quite so far back. Great. So one more time, dropping weight into the pelvis. And then we'll let the strap go off to the side. Great. So that was shoulder range of motion while keeping the spine in neutral alignment. And then this will be hips, right? So we're going to lift the right heel off the wall and cross the ankle over the left. And then come on back. Nice. So here we want to keep dropping the weight through the pelvis. Nice. Notice if there's more, as you move, does more space come underneath your back, or do you press your back into the earth? Right. Maybe if those things are happening, maybe it's a heel coming over to meet the other heel. You could cross your hands over your chest, mummy style, so the hands, in essence, listen for tension that comes into the upper body while moving. So moving in a range that keeps the spine in neutral and the rest of the body at ease. And then try the left side. Left ankle over right. Is there wobbling? Do I tilt or tuck in my pelvis? Great. Maybe if those things are happening, slow the pace down or bring one heel towards the other. So we're going to move to the right side again. Right ankle over left if it's going to go there. And then sliding the ankle just to mid-shin. Pause there. What's happening through the weight of the pelvis? Tension in my shoulders. Neutral spine. Glide, heel back up and off to the side. Great. Try that 2 more times. Crossing the ankle. How's my spine? As I glide down, anything changing? If so, back up a bit and make that your range of motion for the next one. Breathe into the low back bottom ribs. Ease and awareness, best you can. Pelvis heavy, spine neutral. Trying to the left side. Maybe you can get the ankle to cross without anything changing, but as you come down, things begin to change. Just do a couple more crossing one ankle over the other. Breathe into the rib basket. Nice. I've lost count, so I'm going to do one more. Nice. And then relaxing. Notice if anything had been compensating. Anything relaxing right now was probably compensating for a lack of stability or strength within that movement. And that's okay. We're in the business of just finding out what's going on in our bodies at this point. So bending the knees, we're going to roll off to the side. Come up to standing. Nice. You can pause on the way up. Your blood pressure regulated. Coming to standing. I'm going to stand on my mat now, and my heels about a foot away from the wall. I'm going to do a very shallow wall sit. Dropping weight through my pelvis, through my leg bones, through my feet into the earth. So it's not a pushing into the earth. It's just the best I can, dropping weight through the body. Great. And then notice if you're in a cow posture or a cat posture. See if you can come somewhere neutral again. And then just like when you had the strap in your hands, bringing the arms forward and up overhead. Nice and slow, finding when the spine might change shape, or you feel tension in the neck, maybe back off a bit. And then the hands back down by your sides. 2 more times, just the same. Inhale. Nice, stopping if the spine starts to change shape and come on down. Notice if the feet are gripping. Great, nice. And then we're going to stand up away from the wall, but not moving the feet. So we knew that we could be there with the hips against the wall. Now we want to find the wall. Great, by rotating the pelvis over the hips. Nice, without doing a cat or a cow in the spine, nice and neutral, best you can. So notice if the knees come forward first, we want to send the sits bones back behind us like we're closing a drawer or a door behind us with our butt. Great. Nice. And then include the arms. Sits bones going back, arms forward, spine still neutral. So a few times, just the same, coordinating the spine, the hips, and the shoulder range of motion. Jaws soft, toes not gripping, best you can. Great. Nice, beautiful. Shake that out. Right, maybe releasing any tension, any little compensations that were coming online. Great. Nice. All right, so repetition, right, was that key ingredient for the body to begin to understand what we're asking of it. So I guess that's it, and we'll do a full practice when we meet next time, incorporating the ideas of moving from the spine and from the largest joints first. So thanks for practicing, and we'll see you soon.